All right, I think we're back live now. As Bill O'Reilly would say, we're doing it live.
Oh my God, that was so
That
funny.
was the best ever.
Oh man,
Fuck it,
that
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
that's funny. Whatever happened to him anyway? He kind of disappeared, I guess.
I mean, he kind of aged out. I think he's still maybe trying to do. I feel like he started a podcast after that, but after the whole intern thing happened, yeah, they just got rid of him. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
anyway, yes, we both had a potty break and I refilled my coffee. So thank you
Do
for
we need to
coming
recap
back.
anything, or is it recorded then? The rest of
What's that?
it has the other stuff like been recorded, or do we have to recap?
No, no, no. So, yeah, as soon as I hit stop, it automatically like converts the file to an MP4 on my computer. So that was all recorded. We don't have to
Oh,
recap. No, no.
okay.
It'll just be your episode is going to be in two parts, which that's a happy accident because now I can increase my episodes. I think you're going to be 104.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think my last one was episode 103. So you're going to be 104 and 105.
Oh wow. So,
Yes, yes, you get two episodes. Because
uh,
you're so important. So yes,
I'd like to think so. No.
hey, it helps.
Where did we
Oh my
leave off?
gosh. What's that?
I can't remember where we left off.
Well, you were in Portland, kind of starting your new job in Portland. We talked about, it was weird when you got there, but you had never been to Portland and before you applied.
Correct. Yeah.
And you could have a beer at a movie theater. I love that you made that comment. That's great.
Yeah, the weird little things like, oh, how neat. And then later on in my career, I'm like, what a dirty little shithole this is. I went to one of I went to one of those theaters and I took an older lady that I became friends with during my job.
Hmm.
And I thought, oh, she'll like this. She's probably never been. So we sit down, and some drunk transient bum comes stumbling in and pushing past. I'm like, okay, now I'm going to have to sit there and worry about this a-hole over here. I do have to
You
worry
can
about my,
curse, obviously.
okay, yeah. But yeah, that was definitely towards the end of my career anyway. So things were changing dramatically. I do. I so don't miss that city.
So you did how many years at Portland?
What is it? 26. I kind of have to do the math again. Because I left just shy of so was it 21? I left I was 49. So I was just shy of turning 50.
What? I
And I
thought you were
knew,
only 35. What?
oh, I mean, 35 and no.
Well, and let's give your husband a shout out. Did you meet him in Portland then, or
I did. So we met when I was probably 35 because we dated for 5 years and got
okay?
married at 40.
Was he
And
also a Portland cop or
county, he was county
Multnomah
jail.
County?
Yep.
Okay,
So I can say that I met my husband in jail.
and it's not weird. Yes.
Yeah. There's some people like if you don't remember that you're not like talking to somebody you worked with or something.
Yeah.
But you met your husband where? Like, we were both working.
He wasn't booking me.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. But so how? Yeah, so over 20 years at Portland.
Mhm.
And I can't remember, you have at least one sibling?
I have three siblings. Like I
Okay,
have
and are they all in the Northwest area?
no, I have one's in California, one's in the Seattle area, and then I have a brother that lives in town in Spokane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then how long, obviously from kind of high school in Spokane, but you guys got this idea to retire out in Idaho. And you
Mhm.
bought this property before you actually built on it. But so this was kind of a plan coming together.
Yeah, so I think we bought around 2018, which
Oh,
was yeah, by the grace of God, before COVID,
Right?
because yeah, when COVID hit, I don't think this property would have been available. And if it was, we probably couldn't have afforded to buy it and build a house on it. So, uh, by the grace of God, seriously, we were so lucky to have found this.
So even in Idaho, it just went crazy as far as property value and all that.
Yeah, yeah, and it still is. I was just talking to a friend who wants to come out here. I think she was looking at 2 acres, and 2 acres is 220,000 or something just for the property. There's no house on it. Um,
And does that
yeah,
also have, is that literally just a piece of land, or does it like would you have to drill a well and run power to it?
I I think it's just a piece of land, so she'd still have to drill a well and do all of that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it adds up fast. So we bought 20 acres, but we split it with family, so 10 and 10. That way we could split the well and the electric and the driveway and that kind of thing. So
Oh, so you have some other, whether you or your husband's family are going to build on the property also.
yeah, so I mean, we're both all built now. And they live, it's his sister and her husband.
Okay, yeah. So I was kind of joking, but it literally is a compound.
Yeah. Yeah, you're kind of right. Yeah.
Which that's actually a good way to do it, kind of share the cost of it, but also if you have that much property out there, and I don't want to give specifics of where you're at, but I think is it it's northern Idaho, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we're north of Coeur d'Alene.
Okay, yeah, beautiful. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I did a few years as a truck driver after I stopped being a cop. So I've been up to that area. It's friggin' beautiful up there.
It really is. And as soon as I got back in this area and like once I was retired, like I'm home. This is home. I always knew I wasn't going to stay in Portland. It never felt like home. And the more years that went on, the weirder it got.
Yeah.
I like the four seasons. I'm used to the pine trees and the snow and everything. And where we're at, that came through here when I was growing up. It's definitely a lot more crowded. And don't tell any locals that you're from out of town, especially if you're from California, because I'm on some of the Facebook stuff. Like yeah, they don't want anyone moving here. Um, yeah, California, big no-no.
That is hilarious. I randomly worked with it because before when I was still a reserve, I did a short stint at the Nike distribution center warehouse in Wilsonville, and I worked with a guy named Jeremy Springer who now lives in Coeur d'Alene. So I haven't seen him in person since I worked with him, but he lives up there, and we're on Facebook, and he's like, "Dude, you have to move up here. It's the best thing ever." But yes,
Mhm.
I know what you mean. You don't want to advertise that you're from California, and at this point, saying that you're from Portland might be just as worse. So,
Yeah, seriously. So I think the first thing we did was get license plates changed immediately.
how appropriate.
Yeah. And they don't like Washington because all the weird stuff from Spokane's not the Spokane I grew up in either. It's it looks a lot like Portland, with the homeless population and the same with Seattle. I used to love going to Seattle. It's dirty and unsafe and I it's just sad. It's sad what's become of those cities.
So
But
now, I mean, you're still young though. I mean, seriously, enjoy retirement. That's awesome. And I feel like you've seen you post stuff, arts and craft stuff. You have, yeah.
hmm
So is that kind of what you're doing now, or do you
yeah,
how are you
I
filling your time?
well, so when I first retired, it was like this weight had been lifted off my shoulder. I was so happy, to be done. I could do whatever I want and sleep in. And it was great. And then I want to say, maybe a couple months in or something, I started getting this anxiety. and I couldn't sleep. I was waking up all the time. I felt like I'm wasting my days. I should be working.
You're
Yeah, it
not
was
a, yeah, you're
weird.
like, I have to accomplish something.
Yeah. So, I was like, I was doing yoga and working out every day, but it just wasn't enough. I'm like, okay, I thought about work again briefly because if I don't have to work, it's got to be something I really want to do.
Yeah.
And on one hand, I missed police work. I missed investigations. A lot of stuff I didn't miss, but some stuff I did. And I thought, well, what if I made a proposal to like the local agency? Hey, I'll do your identity theft investigations because that's kind of how I ended with Portland. And you can free up officers for the street, and I can do the digging and da 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 da. And then I thought about it, and then I'm like, you know what? The fun part of those identity theft investigations was I got into it because by the end, you couldn't enforce almost anything. You couldn't enforce drug crimes really, or you couldn't chase cars, or you couldn't do anything. So there were limited things I could do to help the neighbors. It's like, okay, I know they're doing something. What can I get on them that they can't just toss out,
That's
and
actually going to stick.
yeah, and a lot of it's federal. So I was able to make federal cases out of identity theft cases. And kind of like, screw you, Portland. I can still get a case going. I'm just going to go through the feds on this one. So, plus, the fun part was doing the patrol and meeting neighbors and meeting crooks and knowing who your bad guys were and getting the dirt that way. I don't want to do the shit work of calling credit bureaus and the stuff that the unfun stuff for identity theft. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do something else. I called my sister one day. I'm like, I'm getting kind of bored. There's a lot to do out here. There's lots of lakes and hiking and stuff, but I need a hobby. I need something. And she goes, you should try stained glass. And I'm like, or pottery. I'm like, oh, I've officially become old. I'm doing pottery and bird watching and or
So
whatever.
no prior experience with that, but that was actually your sister's suggestion.
Yeah, so I ended up looking it up, and there was a lady that was teaching nearby, and I think I looked at one of her pamphlets or something online. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta find out who did this piece of artwork. It was something just incredible. And anyway, I ended up going there. It was like 10 minutes from the house, and it wasn't what I thought it was. I thought it was literally staining glass. No, it's cutting stained glass and
Yes.
putting it together in a pattern, and it's very you can be artsy but not be able to draw and
Mhm.
stuff,
Yeah.
or even I can get a pattern and make it my own, and make it whatever colors or whatever. So that ended up working out for me. Like, there's a little bit of technical stuff to it and some skill, and there's enough creativity that I can take something and kind of make it my own. And I'm like, yeah, I like this. So I had my husband build me a little workstation and carve out some space in the garage, and now I'm just kind of working on some stuff.
Yeah, husbands are good for that.
Yeah.
You can give them the honey-do list and
Oh yeah, he can fix stuff. So that's always great.
that's awesome. Oh my gosh.
Poor guy. I had him doing so much at our old house.
Well, and again,
Uh,
this whole building this house, obviously you had contractors, but it looks like you
mhm.
guys probably did a lot of it as much as you could yourself, I'm assuming.
Um, Not really.
Oh, good. No, that makes it
Yeah.
easier.
So I mean, like the landscape stuff. So that there's the taking care of the property, which is a lot of work. If you like fire control and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll go down there and cut dried dead trees down and mow in the field and stuff like that.
So and obviously that's a real thing. Like you have to be
Mhm.
concerned about the fuel that's laying on the ground.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And there's a lot of it. So that's kind of we're getting closer, but there's a lot of work down there to do. But the other stuff, it's like I don't want to. My husband's like, I don't want to be fixing stuff in the house or like remodeling stuff. Let's get it how we want it and then enjoy it. And then we can have time to do other stuff.
Yeah, you
I'm like,
actually said that at the beginning. If we're
yeah,
going to build a house, I want it built the way I want it. And you were
yeah,
able to do that.
yes. And the old house we had in Portland was a 1928, and he did a ton of work. I mean, he did plumbing in the kitchen and um, tile work, all sorts of work. He's like, I'm done doing that. I just want to drive my
Oh,
tractor.
so
So
is he also retired?
yeah,
That's okay,
he
great. So
yeah, he got done slightly earlier than me, maybe a few months. And then so I left Portland just before I could officially retire and collect my pension. So at 50, I was going to have 20, is that right? Yeah, I was 23 when I got hired. So I was going to have 27 years on.
oh my gosh,
And
okay.
yeah, so finally there was the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm like, fuck you, fuck the city. I'm done. I'm done. I don't care if I have a few months left. I would rather go somewhere else and ride out my career at a happier place.
Yeah.
So I had been kind of looking. I was like, okay, I'm trying to remember what year I started looking. What if I go to the airport? Like, no, it's the same county, it's the same DAs and everything. It won't
Oh,
matter.
you mean Port of Portland?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
I hate airports anyway.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing on that one, it would have been super close to home, but I'm like, I don't want to work in the same county. It won't matter. Um, and then I ended up going to Hillsboro,
Really?
and yeah. Are you familiar with Hillsboro?
Well,
It's
yeah,
just
of course. I was born and raised in the Portland area, so yeah.
oh, so I ended up living with my well, I was still living in Portland for a while, and then I was working in Hillsboro, and
For
then
the city PD or
yeah, for the city.
oh, okay.
And they were great. Their chief and their assistant chief, I love them. They were great. And it all kind of stemmed over COVID related stuff. And the final straw was the Bureau closing the precinct gyms to us. And so I couldn't, all the gyms in the city were closed. I don't have a private gym. I don't motivate well working out at home anyway. I need the equipment. I need that feel. I need other people there,
Right.
the camaraderie part of it. And so they had closed the gym initially 2 weeks to slow the spread, which of
So
course
we're
turned,
talking March of 2020 when
yeah,
allegedly it was only going to be a 2 week shutdown.
yeah. And I think that was just a test to see how people were going to
Yeah.
react.
Yeah, can we have this amount of control over people? Let's see if it works.
Oh, it worked in Portland. So
Yes.
yeah. And I'm like, what is happening? The only good thing was that, there weren't many people on the roads driving until then you got the assholes that were driving crazy
Yeah.
that didn't need to. You're like, I'm on 84, there's no traffic, but this guy behind me is on my ass just so he can play,
Yeah.
speed racer or something. So yeah, they closed the gyms for like, what was it, like 3 months to slow
Yep.
the spread. And then they finally opened them. And then there was news that they were going to close them again. And like I started getting this stress, and I could just feel this anxiety building up inside me, knowing that was going to happen. Like, what are they doing? I can't even believe this. And so they did. They closed it, and I went in one day. I was off. I was off work that day, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to get in trouble. I might as well get it out of the way. So I went in and worked out, and I tore the tape down. They crime scene taped our gym. Yeah, they literally used crime scene tape. I'm like, are you
That's
fucking kidding
that's
me? I
kind of
was
insulting.
It was. I was so mad. I think about all the crime scenes I've been on and the murders and the tragedy you see. And
Yeah.
they're using this to close off the one thing that I use for my mental health in doing this job for 27 years. So I tore that tape down. I threw it away. I threw some sign away that they had posted. And I think at the time I made myself a mask, and it was out of what was it? It was completely sheer. It was it was just a joke of a mask
Right.
because they were all a joke. They don't
Mm.
do any good
No, they
except
they fucking don't. Yes,
yeah,
that was a scam. Yes.
yeah. You're just breathing your own stank all day. And I'm like, no, this. So I'm working out, and there was maybe one or two sergeants that had passed by and didn't say anything to me. And then the next day I went, and then a sergeant, oh, two sergeants came up. So one sergeant plus a witness, basically, is
Yeah.
what they're doing. They need their witness.
Yes.
So what did he say? He's like, the gym's closed. You need to leave. And I go, I'm not leaving. I'm working out. This is too important to give up. And he goes, if you don't leave, I'm going to send this to IA. And I go, I go, okay, go ahead. That's probably where it needs to go. And then I stood there and we kind of had that Mexican standoff, we were just, and he realizes I'm not leaving. And God, I used to have this like all memorized, like where I could just spout it off how it went. I said, what are we doing here? This is too important.
Yeah.
People need the gym. So anyway, he leaves. I continue to work out, and I'm just waiting for him to come back because I know that's not the end of it. And he comes back a short time later. So I know he talked to probably the lieutenant and probably the commander, who at the time was probably working from home. And the lieutenant at the time was just a waste of space. So they come back up, and he goes, you need to leave. The complaint has been forwarded to IA. And I said, just out of curiosity, who initiated the complaint? And he says, I did. Because I'm thinking somebody maybe walked by and reported me or something. And like maybe a non-sworn person. And he
Right.
goes, I did. And I go, gee, thanks. I go, basically, how do I say that? Thanks for the support. I would have expected it maybe from a non-sworn person, but not from one of my own. And I
Yeah.
go, you know what I find ironic about this whole thing is that when I go downstairs, this is what I see. So the rule at the time was, if you are working, you have to wear a mask at all times in the station, and 6 feet of distance. And if you are in your own office by yourself with the door closed, you have to wear a mask. Like, oh my God, are you fucking
Fucking
kidding
kidding me.
me?
Yeah.
So I go, so knowing this, I go, this is what I see when I go downstairs. I see offices that are papered up. So the sergeant's office it faced an atrium, like a little garden area or whatever, and it was completely windows on one side. And then the door was all window. It was just a glass door. And then there was actually the whole thing was glass, but some part you couldn't see because there were desks and whatever. They papered up with individual pieces of printer paper the entire office. And then on the door, you'll love this, on the door of the sergeant's office, they cut out a little hole, like with a little door, like a little peephole, so that they could just, if somebody knocked, they could just go open it and like, who goes there kind of thing. Well, I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not knocking on your door. So I went in one day, and here the sergeants are. I don't think they were wearing masks. Um, they're all just hanging out bullshitting. And the commander was in there as well. Like, oh, okay. It's okay for you guys, but not the rest of us peons. So even the lieutenant's office, they papered up the windows. I go, why are you papering up windows? What are you hiding back there? Gee, I wonder. And it was so stupid. So here's the other
Yeah.
thing they did. They um, took equipment from the gym and they put it in a community room because at the time in the city, all public gyms are closed. We're
Right.
not closing the strip bars. We're not closing the liquor stores. We're not closing the marijuana stores and whatever else. But we're closing where people stay healthy.
Yeah.
So they took equipment, the commander at the time took equipment and had it moved into a community room. Why? Because, well, community rooms aren't closed. So I could go to the community room and work out. I'm like, why don't we just put a coffee pot, a table, some chairs, pens, and paper in the gym, and then we can call the gym a community room, and then I can work out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that and again, I don't we don't have to get on too much of this rant, but that's the most frustrating thing was that whole everything that they told us to do, they were prohibiting us from doing the things that were healthy. We
yeah.
won't let you work out, wear a mask, stay inside, which is the worst thing you can do. You should be outside in the sun, which is good. You should
Oh,
be able
like
to
the
work out.
rioters?
Yeah, you're right. Um,
Yeah.
and and I don't I still see it today. The trauma that that caused to society because I still see 20 something walking around outside with a mask on
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
themselves outside in the open air with a fucking mask on. You have traumatized these kids.
Uh-huh.
And or the worst thing ever is driving around in your car by yourself with a fucking mask on. It's not
To say
it's
that.
not the
Yeah.
boogeyman. It's not out there that's going to get you.
Yeah. It was, I could not understand it. The other thing I couldn't understand is, well, one, all the people that said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to work out too." I'm like, "Oh, where you at now? I'm the only one working out and getting in trouble." But whatever, you know. That was kind of frustrating, but I kind of get it. You know, they instill fear in people, and fear is a motivator.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that day I was like, "Oh my God, oh, am I going to get fired? Is my husband's going to be so pissed at me because of this?" And in fact, I was already looking for another job anyway, which is why Hillsborough happened so fast.
Oh, but you ended up doing like a lateral transfer to Hillsborough for just a
Yeah,
short time?
yeah. I was going to stay there longer. I only ended up staying just shy of 2 years, so I feel kind of bad about that because I really respected the chief. I didn't want them to think I was using them. I wanted to end my career on a happy note, but I didn't want to screw them over or anything. They didn't really have to train me either. It was just like,
Well, yeah,
there you go.
obviously. So you were at Hillsborough um, during the pandemic or after, like at the tail end of
Um,
it?
it was it was pretty much after it, so or maybe part during it because
Yeah.
yeah, it was during because people were still wearing masks.
So like
So
2021, 2022, something like that?
probably 2021. Yeah,
Okay.
2020. Yeah. So it was still kind of going on there. They were wearing masks in the office, and I did get in trouble for not wearing a mask in the office. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. So there were still some people over there too that did that.
What was the what's the chief's name there? Is he still the current chief or
Oh my gosh. I can remember names of crooks I arrested years ago, but I
but
cannot
you can't
remember.
remember your coworkers. Yeah.
I think he's still there.
Okay.
Um, I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, he was great.
So did
I really,
you when you were at Hillsborough, was there an officer there named Mark Hevland? Was he still there in Hillsborough? Mark Hevland?
HED,
HEV.
There might have been. It's not
Okay.
sounding familiar.
Just these are the people that I like used to work with me in Monmouth and Independence, went to the academy with. But anyway, I probably shouldn't be using full names, so let's bleep that.
Right.
But at some point, a couple years in Hillsborough, and then you and your husband were like, okay, we got this property, let's just do this.
Yeah, so he was still working, and then once he could retire, he's like, I'm done. So we went to our little after, financial thing. And the gal's like, well, Chris, if you stay X amount longer, which would have been like 3 more years, I think, you can get, half of your medical paid for. And he goes, no, I'm not doing a day longer than I have to. I will get another job to supplement if I have to.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'll say,
I was
well,
gonna
pay for
say
medical
if
sucks.
if you guys because now I'm at Costco, I've been there for 8 years. If you guys want a part-time job with great benefits, there's a Costco in Coeur d'Alene. You can just greet the people coming in and get amazing medical and dental and vision and all that stuff. It's a great part-time job.
I've heard that. I've thought about that. I've known a couple people that worked Costco. I'm like,
It's the best. It's the best, and it's almost like having a union, even though the only Costco's in California have a union, I think, and maybe on one state in the East Coast. But other than that, it's not. They have what they call an employee agreement, which looks just like a union contract. But yeah, it's actually a great company to work for. I mean, it's corporate, so there's some of that stuff. But if you just want to punch a clock and get because the part-timers get the same benefits that full-timers do. Like,
oh,
so
wow.
I get $60 a month for full medical, dental, and vision. That's it. It's Aetna, it's amazing insurance. Again, I've been in therapy for 9 years. I could do a $15 copay for every session. I've been doing it for 9 years, and I keep expecting them to send, hey, are you fixed yet? Do you have to keep going to therapy? But they can't. Obviously, they can't say that, but
Yeah.
yeah, so if you guys want something to kill some time and get benefits, just go to Costco.
Yeah. I think I'm still good right now.
Yeah, no, don't do it if you don't need to, but that's an option,
hmm
obviously.
Yeah. No, I am enjoying my time off now. I probably need a winter. Well, actually, I did get a hunting license, so
Have you hunted before
I
growing up?
have. I'm trying to get my husband involved in it, and I'm more social than he is. So, I went for a walk one day, and passing by a driveway, and there's probably what 4 guys sitting out, and I knew a couple of them. And I'm trying to get my exercise. I just started my walk, and it's like, hey, come join us for a beer? I'm like, I shouldn't. Oh, sure, why not? So
Twist my arm.
yeah, so I ended up hanging out, and then we got talking about hunting, and they're like, yeah, we'll take you guys out, show you the ropes, where to go and stuff, and they're like, get a moose tag. You need to get a moose tag. I'm like, I've never even hunted. Just do it. Get a moose tag. Because apparently that's like once in a lifetime kind of a draw or something.
Yeah.
So I did. We got our hunting license. We both put in for moose tags. Didn't get it. Honestly, yeah, I'm kind of glad. I love watching. Well, I like watching the moose and the elk. I'm not sure I want to be a hunter. I love elk meat though. That's really good.
And
Um,
yeah, and it's super healthy, obviously.
Yeah, I'm hoping my husband will get into it, and then he can go hunt, and then I can have the house to myself for a little bit. We all need some time.
Oh my God, that's amazing. No, I've seen you post some photos out on your walks or your bikes, biking or whatever, but yeah, you have a lot of wildlife there.
Yeah, the biking. So I was joined a local gym, and I was taking a spin class there a couple times a week, and met one of the guys there. We must have just been talking about a local trail called the Hiawatha Trail, and it's called Rails to Trails, like they're old
Oh,
railroads
okay.
that they turned into trails. I think it goes across the United States too.
Oh, wow.
So he's like, "Yeah, you should come with us." We call it Rolling or Wheeling Wednesdays or something, and it was him and another retired guy. And I'm like, "All right," because it's hard to kind of, at least for me anyway, to get started and know where to go and where you should park, and they have it dialed in. So I came home. I'm like, hey, we're gonna go bike riding with these guys, and he's like, my husband, well, who are they? Like that skepticism, and I might
That's
be the
fair.
same. So I'm like, I don't care. We're going, and you're going with me. And now he goes without me if I can't go. So
That's
um,
awesome.
yeah, it's great. We probably do usually 30 to 40 miles in a ride. and it's not like, big hills or anything, because rails trails can only be, I think, a maximum of 6%, but they're usually 4% grade.
So you
So
might be, you're on maybe dirt and gravel, but it's not like
yeah,
you have to have like an extreme I don't know what they call them, but you're not doing like really intense off-road
no,
biking.
yeah. So we just have mountain bikes.
Okay.
Some of it's paved. They have like bikes with really skinny tires they use on the paved ones.
Right.
But right now I'm just okay. One bike will do, but no electric bikes.
Oh my God,
Um,
don't yeah, don't get me started on that. All these e-bikes, I'm like, what's the point? Why are you
yeah, the one person that well, I can see it in a couple of things, like maybe older people that just can't get
Yes,
out, fine,
absolutely.
or maybe overweight people that are just using an assist on it. Like we met some guy that was from Minnesota, and we ran into him around St. Regis in Montana, which is basically just over the border.
Yeah.
And he was I mean, probably at least 400 pounds. And he's like, I already lost 40 or 70 pounds or something. He's like, I have an assist. I can never go fully auto on this, which is kind of the point.
Right.
Like, well, good for you.
No, I mean
But kids,
he's out there working, right? He's
yeah,
trying.
yeah. We did Glacier. Have you ever been to Glacier
No.
National Park?
I mean, I know where
Um,
it's at, but I haven't been there.
it was the first time I went to, and we biked that. There's a certain amount of time where the road's closed to traffic, and they let you bike it. So it was probably 95% e-bike and 5% people on pedal bikes like us. And some people just literally went speeding up the hill on their e-bike and then right back down. Like, what's the fun in that? You know? And they were young, people that should have been like, you
Yeah.
know, getting some exercise out there.
And
I mean, I probably
they're
want,
totally capable of it. They're just not,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I remember looking at one gal, like she's just had the sourpuss look on her face. Like, what are you even to have a sourpuss look? You don't even have to do any work.
Like she
But
just has RBF, you know.
yeah, pretty much.
My gosh.
But that was pretty cool. That was a good time.
So yeah, you touched on it earlier, probably in our first recording. Retirement, moving out there, it took you a minute to adjust because isn't it kind of it's almost like you don't realize how much stress you're under until you're
Yeah.
away from it. So you
Yes.
almost have to learn how to relax. And
Yeah.
you have these waking up and on like you wake up with anxiety and you're like, why? I don't have to go to work or
Yeah, exactly. It's like not like I was having bad dreams or anything. Um, I would just wait. I'd fall asleep fast, and then at like 3 in the morning, I'm wide awake. I'm like, oh, my mind is racing. I'm just thinking about all these things. Like, what's happening to me? I just want to sleep. Why am I stressed out? I don't have to ever go to that crap job again. It's not a crap job. It was the city, and you
right.
know that was. But yeah, it was weird. It took a period of adjustment. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, and also part of that is yeah, unfortunately, part of that is just being a female. I forgot the name of the movie, but it was the most perfect depiction of the female brain ever. Sarah Jessica Parker stars in it as a a mother, and it came out maybe 10, 15 years ago. But literally, it perfectly explains how the women can't shut their brain off because they are always worried about everything: the house, the kids, the future, the past. And it
Uh-huh.
was it was she kind of narrates her story, and it gives it's good for like make your husband watch it if you can find it. It gives
Oh
a good
boy.
insight into the female brain, how you guys just can't shut it off. Guys can just, wake up on a Saturday or Sunday and watch the football game and they can kind of forget about responsibilities.
Yeah.
Women can't do that.
I wait for him to wake up so I can tell him everything that not sometimes. Uh I tell you, so the one thing that I missed throughout my career is I didn't lose faith. You know, I grew up in the church and going to church and stuff, but I stopped going, well, in college, honestly. And then, you know, when I was working shift work and stuff, and I didn't really go or anything. But now that I've had time to read, you know, since I retired, I kind of had time to revisit it. I'm like, I've never just sat down and read the Bible. I
Yeah.
still haven't. I listened to it. I did the Hallow app or something. And I got to some that just stuck with me. And one of them was, um, don't worry. You know, I think that's repeated in the Bible like 365 times or something. And why are you worried about what you're wearing? I'm like, why am I worried about what I'm wearing? You know, just those little things that's like, I, it's, it's old in the Bible. I'm like, oh, I wish I had stuck with it and went back to it throughout my career because it would have been great. I feel like I would have been a
Yeah.
better for it.
I'm I'm uh I'm agnostic. I'm not
Mhm.
arrogant enough to say that there is no God. That would be presumptuous, but but what I do believe is there's a lot of wisdom in the Bible, and there's a lot of wisdom in whether it's a lot of religious texts. I
Mhm.
think they were written by people that were smart, and there's a lot of lessons that can be learned from it. So, I'm not anti-religion.
Mhm.
But yeah, there is a lot of value in these books. Even if you don't necessarily believe, there's a lot of stuff you can learn from it. Um,
Mhm.
a lot of important lessons, a lot of parables, um,
Mhm.
even if you just want to not take it literally. Um, but yeah, I guess, and there's no reason, it's your podcast. I shouldn't be talking about me, but I'm like, whatever and is this stupid scene from this dumb movie in the 90s. You might remember it, Menace to Society. Do you remember that movie?
Yes, I remember. Well, I don't remember a lot about it, but
So there was one scene where the teacher was trying to talk, a black teacher talking to the young black gangster guy, and he had the best line ever, because his son got into being a Muslim, and he says, "Look, whatever it takes to make you a better person."
mhm.
I don't, whatever it takes. If it makes you a better person, go with it, and
Mhm.
whether it's being a Christian or being a Muslim or being a Hindu or whatever, whatever faith you need, yeah, I'm not going to judge it. So,
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's been good. That's another thing I got involved with is just a different church out here. I grew up Episcopalian,
mhm.
and I'm like, there's some weird shit happening in this church. They're, what are they doing? It was the whole trans thing.
Oh,
It's just yeah. So if it tells you anything, I went to ice in Portland when I had Sundays off finally, and I
oh,
went.
pause for a second. Your video froze.
Oh, did it?
Oh, no, you're back. Go ahead.
Okay, maybe you froze too. A little bit. Let's see what my signal is. Okay. So I went shit.
Perfect.
I went to a church in North Portland. It was Christmas Eve, and the past or the priest or whatever was a black female, and she was talking. Her sermon on Christmas Eve was talking about those bad 1%er rich people. I'm like, seriously? The people that donate to your church probably and donate to charities, those bad people. I'm like, why are we even talking about that? Why are we not talking about the Holy Family and Jesus? And so I apologized to my friend that I had dragged there with me. Well, I didn't drag her, she wanted to go. And I wish we had just left and went home and did what we did anyway, which was go have a drink. And then Then I tried again. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it another shot. And I just went to a different church, same denomination. And one of the, they're all little old ladies and they're so excited to see, new blood there. And one of them's like, oh, did you know that Tina Kotek is our priest or, our deacon or something? I had no idea who Tina Kotek was at the time. I'm sure you know,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
And I was like, okay, whatever. I think she was a representative or something, a house rep or something. And later, when COVID happened and they shuttered the churches, they closed the church. And I remember thinking, you should, why are we closing down churches? That's kind of a communist thing. Um, and if you're worried about being sick, there's plenty of 6 feet space in that church because there's not many people that really go to church anymore. And it's all old people and people that need that in their lives. That doesn't sound right, all old people. But in that church anyway. But people that rely on that,
It's almost their community.
yeah, exactly. So I looked on the website one day. I'm like, surely they're not still closed. And on the website that was posted something like, we stand with our, it might have been an LGBTQ thing. I'm not sure, but basically it was, we stand against our police officers who are using, violence and excessive force and da da da. I'm like, I'm fucking done. I'm done with you.
Yeah.
And I was like, you have let evil into your church and kind of,
And you can't just make that blanket statement, that whole,
yeah,
unfortunately, it was kind of about the same time as the pandemic that the anti-police thing came up, obviously because of George Floyd, and it was an overreaction. But I'm like, yeah, defund the police was the stupidest fucking notion ever. I'm like, how about if we fund the police and give them the right training and
yeah.
yeah,
Well, it hurts the populations that they claim to want to protect,
yeah,
minority populations or lower income or whatever it be,
yeah.
because those people that want to defund the police have all their paid security,
Oh, right, exactly. It doesn't hurt them.
yeah, they live in a gated community or something. So
Okay. It's funny. My my girlfriend Krista actually was calling just now, but that reminded me of something else I wanted to touch base with you on. Um, 2016, you went through breast cancer?
I did 2016. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, and the only reason I brought she's going through it right now. And we actually talked about it on the messenger. But yeah, did you have to go through the whole, lumpectomy, chemo, radiation, all that stuff?
I did. So I found out I was switching doctors or something, and I had to go through before I could like get the birth control pill. I had to go through um, my yearly kind of stuff.
Hmm.
I'm like, ah, for God's sake! So I get an X-ray, and they they kept calling me back. So normally when I at my original doctor, like my insurance versus my husband's insurance, I used my husband's insurance. I think I was mad about something. It's like they were only giving me a month at a time, and I'm like, come on. Or I went in and I just had an issue, whatever it was. I'm like, screw it. I'm going to try this insurance instead. So I go in and I get the X-ray, and then they were sending like a notice, like my husband said, they're trying to get a hold of you. You need to call them. Like I go, it's just because I have heterogeneous, whatever they call it, dense
Yes.
breast tissue.
Yeah.
And I go, it's just because of that. And last time they did an ultrasound, it was nothing. So I it I was just like, it's a nothing deal. So I didn't call back. I didn't respond. Then they sent a certified letter. And I'm like, uh-oh. So I went back and I did the ultrasound, and then they found something. Like at the time, I'm like, well, this isn't right. There's already somebody at East Precinct with breast cancer. How could there possibly be two? That was my
Your
frame of mind.
mentality.
yeah. So, as I find out and then they're calling and then it's like everything got scheduled within a week. It's like, you need to get in here now. And so I saw the radiologist, the chemo or the
The
oncologist,
oncologist, yeah.
the plastic surgeon even. And it was just overwhelming. And you might have to do, you definitely need to do chemotherapy, but you might not have to do radiation, da da da. So I think I asked the doctor, the one that would do the surgeon. I said, well, I mean, how do you know I even need to do chemotherapy if you're doing surgery first and say it doesn't go into my lymph nodes? And I was kind of doctor shopping because the oncologist was already like, you're going to do it. And she goes, well, if you were my sister, I would tell you you need to do this. And I said, do you like your sister? Yeah. Like, yes, I like my sister. I strongly encourage you to do this. So I had surgery, and then I was notified afterwards that the margins were positive. So I had to go back in for surgery. But I had to wait a month. So let me back up. When I first found out, I cried like a baby. I was so stressed. I didn't think I was always like, if I ever get cancer, I'm not doing chemotherapy. I don't want to look like one of those sick people. I'm just gonna, whatever. It's my time and it's meant, it's whatever. And I was not as strong as I thought I was gonna be. And so I had told a friend of mine, we were just kind of becoming friends. Her name was Devana. And she showed up in the operating room afterwards. I might start crying. She showed up with a calendar of like 3 months of names filled out. She went to people at work and had everyone volunteer to take my shifts while I was off.
Oh,
Like, oh
Jesus.
my God.
I think I'm
So
going to start crying now. Jesus.
yeah, it was pretty incredible. In fact, I cry because too she has since passed on, and I never really got to know her as well as I would have liked to. But I remember that day that I was leaving work, knowing, okay, this is it. I'm going to be off for a while. I'm going to see how it goes. And I ran into her as I was leaving, and she started crying. And usually, when other people start crying, I can't. I don't know why. I just go into a different place, and I was like, why is she crying? I wasn't even thinking about the fact that this is kind of serious. It could potentially be serious. And that she cared for me and she was upset for me.
Yeah.
And so when she showed up in my operating, or the recovery room
Hmm.
with that, oh my God. I didn't even know what to say. I just, you know, it's hard to describe in words how I felt for those people that were taking my shifts for me. It was pretty
Yeah.
incredible. And the other person in the recovery room was a gal that I had arrested.
Oh my
So
gosh, that sounds like an amazing story.
she we became friends. It was kind of funny. It's on a side note. I had a welfare check call at her house, and sketchy stuff was going on. Her dirtbag husband at the time answered the door, but he came out, closed the door behind him. He had weird bruises on his stomach. He was missing rotten teeth. It's like, this looks like he should be a younger guy, and he was shooting up in his stomach, and
Oh, Jesus.
he's rotting because of drug use. And anyway, I ended up arresting her. I ended up going to the jail to visit her because their house was going to turn into a flop house because they were both in jail, and it was going to be even worse. So it's like, hey, you should let me board up or do whatever, to your house. And I remember her looking at her and was like, oh, she's going to hate seeing me. And it was a little cool at first. And then I ended up going back. And I said, hey, the guy that your husband picked to watch your house, he's worse. He's like running a brothel out of your house.
Oh, Jesus.
And she's like, let my dad board it up. And then we got to talking, and she's like, I'm doing really well. I'm clean and sober. And she goes, and you can get drugs in prison or in jail. She's in jail at the time.
Yeah.
So it does mean something, because at first I'm like, you're in jail. You don't really have a choice. They do have a choice. You can
Yeah.
get drugs in jail.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm going to AA. I'm doing this and that. And um, yeah, she was doing really well. She started inviting me. So she got out. She invited me over for coffee. And the whole time I'm like, what is she up to? She's trying to get something from me. I just did not trust her.
I mean, which that's fair. I mean, I would probably have the same suspicion. Yeah.
Yeah. So I finally told her one day, I'm like, I can't talk about your case because your husband's still, she took a plea. Your husband's still going through it. And she goes, well, you can't, but I can. And she just started telling me all sorts of stuff and how things started and da da da. And anyway, long story longer. No, we just became friends over the years. I invited her over
Wow.
for Christmas. Her son came with her. He was pretty young at the time. Like, oh, my husband's not going to be happy about this because he's going to be like, why are you trusting her? But
The
no,
same husband.
yeah, yeah. And no, my husband, not hers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So I had her and her boy come over for Christmas. And I think, what did we watch? Some stripper show about Mike.
Magic
Something.
Mike.
Yeah, it was Magic Mike.
It's
We
Matthew
watched Magic.
McConaughey. How could you forget that?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh, you're reminiscing
Oh,
now.
God. So that was fun. But we ended up just becoming friends over the years. But yeah, anyway, she had sat through chemotherapy with me. She was there in my recovery. And
Okay, so this is why I don't script this, the podcast, because happy little stories like this come up. How many years ago was your first interaction with her when you showed up at the door and her man just had to be a few years ago.
well, it would have been, I, I, I don't think I'd known her that long before I was diagnosed. So
So 2015 maybe?
something like that, or maybe even 2014, possibly.
Okay. No, this is
Um,
just a super awesome, and I'm glad we're capturing it. And again, I probably should have started out at the beginning of this. This is a passion project for me. I'm not promoting it. I record these and I put them out there and I share it, but I'm not trying to actively, you know, I'm not trying to make money off it. I
mhm.
think my most viewed podcast was the one with the author Paul Young, who might have 500 views now. But I love capturing these little stories. And what again, especially since you were a cop, this is an amazing story about this encounter you had with somebody when you were working, and it turned into this who showed up when you came out of surgery in your recovery room. I mean,
Yeah,
seriously, that's a friggin' amazing story.
it's it's a friendship that did a lot for me. I don't want people. It's like I don't want to be like I'm bragging. Oh, I'm such a good person. I'm friends with somebody that used drugs. Da da da. It's not. It's not about that.
No, not
It's
at all.
somebody that was so bubbly when I first arrested her, or first did a search warrant at her house anyway. She was so bubbly and high energy. I'm like, she's high. She's got to be high. No, that's her personality. Even my surgeon at the time, he's like, oh, she was high. I'm like, oh, totally. No, that was her personality. I learned so much from her too. Um, but yeah, she kind of broke through my inability to trust, and I'm glad. I'm glad that worked out that way. I'm glad that we stayed friends, and it's a special friendship for
Yeah, and
sure.
it kind of it's a cliche. You get into the law enforcement world and it's easy to fall into it. It's us against them, but and you start othering people. But I
Uh-huh.
love how this random connection with somebody you encountered on the job um, became more.
Well, and it's the people that think they know best, the ones that want to defund police and stuff. This girl told me if I hadn't been arrested and sat my ass in jail for months, I'd probably be dead.
Yeah.
So, and it's all these elitists out there that want to judge and criticize cops and decriminalize drugs. It's like that was the one thing that got them in. They can't, most of them can't do it on their own. They
Yeah.
need in treatment. They need to be, somewhere like jail
Yeah.
or, in custody treatment to get better, like the Tina Kotex of the world. Hey, let's decriminalize drugs and let mentally ill people live on the streets, because we're such good people. It's like, how is that helping them? It's not helping them.
No, it's not. Yes.
So annoying. But what do I know? I'm just a cop that, did this for 27 years
Yeah,
and
you're
met.
actually out there on the street interacting with the citizens we're supposed to be serving.
Mhm. And that was actually my favorite part of that job was just going out and talking to the neighbors in my district, but talking to the crooks too,
Yeah.
because you develop a relationship with them, good or bad, with the crooks. And I remember I was at a house that I was working, and some bad dudes showed up, and they were kind of talking smack to me or whatever. But the guy that lived there is like, "You better treat her with respect," and that's because I always treated them with respect.
Yeah.
I just crawled right up there, and I was on their ass all the time, and trying to, you know, arrest them for whatever, keep them out of trouble, and they knew that too. So, but I wasn't an asshole to them. It's like, you know what you're doing out here, and I know what you're doing out here. It's just a matter of you getting caught and kind of being held accountable for it. So,
Yeah. I mean, you can have that, you can still treat people with dignity, even if
mhm,
you're calling them out for doing the wrong shit. There's a way, and obviously you get that.
mhm,
Unfortunately, that's not necessarily well, social media and the advent of that bullshit, just like everything else, you only hear about the bad stuff, and you don't hear about the 99% of whether it's cops or anybody else that are doing the good work. 'Cause that's not
mhm.
publicized because it's not clickbait. So you hear
True.
about the bad shit and you don't hear about things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I worked with guys that treated everyone like crap, and well, including their coworkers sometimes too. And they'd try and get info from them for a bigger case or something. You're not going to get shit from them because you treat them like shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you still have to show them respect. And I
Hmm.
mean, I have it just, with the benefit of hindsight, you become a cop in your mid 20s. That is a lot of power to bestow, especially, I'm going to say it, men, which we develop slower than women do. It's a lot of power and responsibility to give to a 25-year-old guy. They don't know how to handle that.
Yeah. And I look back too, it's like, man, I was young. I didn't have any street experience. And I kind of knew it though going into it. I'm like, I know these people are looking at me like some young blonde college girl telling them what to do and stuff. And I get it. But I also look back, it's like, I could have been nicer. It took me some years to kind of be less judgmental. It's like, why are you out here doing drugs? You could, or why are you out here prostituting yourself? And my cats. Um, I was kind of judgmental, and I wasn't
Yeah.
always very nice. Maybe I would have if I had a little more wisdom, but also, you know, it's not like I was, it's on the job learning too.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up on the street, so I didn't really know that, but yeah. Anyway, I sidetracked off of cancer.
No, but you went through it, just it was a small lump, I'm assuming, that removed
it
with
was
surgery.
it was big enough that I had to do a mastectomy,
Okay.
and um and then I had to go back again because they didn't get everything.
Oh,
So
geez. Okay.
that was the stressful part, was getting called and like, oh, you got to come back in, because then you have to wait another month and then you go through surgery, and then you wait another month, and then you do chemo for, was it four months of chemo? It's every four rounds of chemo every 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's exactly what Krista went through. It was 6, but it's every 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it a hormone positive cancer?
I don't that no, I haven't heard that term yet. And she just had to have a lumpectomy. They caught it super early, very small, surgery, and then chemo, and then she's going to have to go through radiation. But she went through, I think, 6 cycles of chemo. Now she's going through the immunotherapy, and they're gonna start radiation, I think, at the beginning of October. Um,
Okay.
yeah, but they
I don't
caught it
think they
early,
had,
and
well, I don't think they had immunotherapy when
yeah,
I was,
that's new.
yeah. Yeah, because I talked to another gal that's doing it too. And I feel very fortunate. I only did 4 rounds of chemo. Um, my hair fell out within the first two weeks or
Yeah.
three. Yeah, something like that. And yeah, I'm vain. It was one of those things that's like, I don't want to look sick. I don't want to be bald. I don't, um, it was kind of tough. I got a couple wigs, but then chemo kicks you into, I think, menopause. So I started getting hot flashes
Or
after
at
like,
least what is it called? Perimenopause, premenopause.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, why am I so fucking hot? It's the middle of summer, and is the AC not working? And oh, now I'm cold and I'm sweating, and it sucked. But I think by the time I had round four, if I was to continue going, I probably would have started seeing more side effects like your fingernails getting brittle
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I did that, and then a month of radiation.
Hmm.
So every morning radiation, and it's like, well, this is easy enough. It's got to be better than chemo. But so when I had chemo, we had a treadmill. And every day I would just watch TV or something, and I would walk. So I'm like, I don't want to get skinny looking and sickly looking. I'm trying to just stay healthy. And I was drinking green smoothies and stuff like that. Gross, but just because it's green, they didn't
I know,
taste
right?
so. But radiation, I was like, shit, I can barely do a mile. It really takes it out of you. You're in the office for, they zap you like, it's so fast. They
Yeah.
zap you and you're done. It takes longer to set the process up than to actually do it. And so it was, to me, it was like, wow, it really does take it out of you. It took it more out of me than chemo did. I was definitely
Wow.
more tired from radiation than chemo.
That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. Because I think they said she has to do it. It's 12 sessions, but it's like 12 in a row, 12 days. It's like every day for 12
Interesting.
days. She's going to have to go for radiation.
Huh.
Um, and so it's kind of, and she actually, she lost her hair. There is, I don't know if this happened to you, but the chemo would mess up her taste buds. Like anything sweet doesn't taste good. She can't do grapes, or fruit. It
I
messes
think
up.
it did. I think it did.
Yeah. But the
Um,
radiation kind of actually hit you harder than the chemo.
it did, yeah. They have so many good anti-nausea medicines that they put that in the drip, and plus I was taking pills for anti-nausea,
Hmm.
and yeah, I would get a little queasy, like I'm going to be careful what I eat. But I never got real sick over it,
Okay.
like throwing up or anything like that. I think there's different types of chemo, though, for
Yeah.
different, more aggressive cancers or different types of cancers or whatever.
Yeah, especially now, I think the cocktail is very unique, depending on the cancer you have. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think so. The radiation, God, there's some days where I wish I didn't do it, but when you have so many doctors like you need to do this and you need to do that, and but it's hindsight, it's like, what if I didn't do radiation? And then what if something did come back? And then I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I should have done radiation.
Yeah.
But the radiation for me, because your girlfriend would probably be more fortunate because she had a lumpectomy.
Hmm.
So I don't have any breast tissue on my left side. It's just skin.
Okay.
It's probably big skin in there too, which is appropriate being a cop. No, but anyway, the radiation like shrink wraps your skin kind of. So every
Oh,
is super tight on that side. So on top of scar tissue, there's just tissue damage in general from the radiation.
okay.
So I always get really tight on my whole left side, and it affects. I think if I don't stay on top of it and stretch, which it's kind of hard. It's you got to do it every day and just
Yeah.
really be conscious of it. So I'll have my shoulder will kind of start pulling forward, and I think it kind of pulls like my hip and stuff out of alignment.
And are you right-handed?
I'm right-handed, yeah.
Okay. So you tend to
So
use your right arm more anyway. You have to kind of focus and remember to work that left side.
yeah, pretty much. It's just in like if I put my hands up, we can't see it here, but my left hand is lower than my
Okay.
right hand when I put my hand straight up because the muscle tissue it's so tight and just the way it pulls on stuff.
Yeah.
So
So a little bit limited range of motion on your left side.
yeah, and I just need to stay on top of it. I just get lazy sometimes. It's
Well,
like
you're
my baby.
retired. It's okay to be lazy now and then.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time to just do all the stretching you need to do and then go to the gym. I was doing yoga and stuff, which was good because it really helped. But now it's too far away, and I don't want to drive a half an hour to go do this class, an hour back. It's like,
Yeah.
sometimes I just don't want to leave home.
Well, again, I've seen a lot of the photos and videos you put. Your place looks amazing. I wouldn't want to leave there either. I would just enjoy coffee in the morning and happy hour drinks in the evening, staring out at your view. I mean, it looks
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. I love it. I definitely love it.
All right, we've gone for a long. I'm gonna let you go, um, because the first one was almost 40 minutes and now it's 11 o'clock. This is amazing.
Oh wow, I didn't even feel like it. That's
I
weird.
know. No, seriously, Stephanie, it's so random that I found you on Facebook, and you're amazing. I really appreciate your time. It
Oh,
was a
thank you.
great conversation. I would let's give your husband a name. What's his first name?
Chris.
Chris. Okay. I would also be happy to have him on the podcast if he wants to do it.
Oh, I doubt it.
Okay, no, I understand. Believe me, that's what I've learned after, 105 episodes in. Scheduling is the hardest thing because I like 9 out of 10 people, they'll say, "Oh, sure, I want to do it," and then I can't book them. But a
He's just
lot of people are
socially
private and
like,
they don't want to talk.
yeah, that's more it, I think.
Yeah, which is totally fine. But this has been a really good conversation. I'm seriously appreciate your time. Um, we'll stay connected. And so my girlfriend Krista actually grew up in Montana, Bozeman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And so if we ever happen to come through your area, I will connect with you.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
we'll stop by and say hi. Um,
Yeah.
I guess I should say this will be on YouTube. And are you happy with the conversation? I can edit it if you want. Is there anything you said you want me to remove?
No, I don't think so.
No, I thought it was great, but obviously I want to get your permission to post it. So yeah,
Hmm.
I will post it on YouTube, and I'll tag you in it when I share it.
Okay.
And you should definitely share it with your friends. Seriously, it was a really good conversation.
All right. Yeah, I
So
had a good time. That
I
was nice.
appreciate that, and I will stay in touch. So I'm
Okay.
gonna hit stop, and then we can say goodbye off camera.
Okay, sounds good.